Why do some people seem to effortlessly navigate power while others remain perpetual victims of circumstance? Why do the ruthless rise while the righteous struggle? If you've ever felt like the world is using you, your time, your energy, your goodwill without giving you what you deserve in return, then you're asking the right questions. Today, we're going to solve the problem that has plagued humanity since civilization began: how to stop being the world's pawn and start becoming its player. Through Machiavelli's cold, calculating wisdom, you'll discover the 6 principles that separate those who are used from those who do the using. Every man is born into a world that wears a mask, a world that whispers of fairness, loyalty, and virtue, yet moves only when there is something to gain. The tragedy is that most people live believing life is built on sincerity. They think honesty will be rewarded, that kindness will return to them, and that hard work alone will lift them to power. But Machiavelli saw deeper. He saw that behind every act of kindness lies an expectation, behind every word of loyalty hides a motive, and behind every alliance stands a calculation. He understood what most men never do, that the world is not built on morals, but on transactions. Every relationship, every conversation, every opportunity is an exchange of value. When you give, the world takes. When you give too much, the world begins to expect it. When you refuse to give, the world turns against you. This is the law of human nature that governs kingdoms, courts, and even friendships. It is not cynicism, it is awareness. The world rewards the aware and devours the innocent. Machiavelli wrote that men are ungrateful, fickle, false, cowardly, and covetous. He did not say this to condemn humanity, but to remind us that human behavior is predictable. People will align with you as long as it serves their interests. The moment your value fades, their loyalty vanishes with it. That is why the naive suffer. They give loyalty where it is not earned and expect fairness from a system that is built on advantage. Survive, you must learn to see life not through emotion, but through exchange. Ask yourself, what value am I giving, and what am I receiving? Do not confuse affection with alliance, or approval with respect. Those who praise you today may abandon you tomorrow if someone else offers them more. This is not betrayal, it is business. It is the silent economy that drives every human interaction. You must understand that every person, no matter how noble they seem, seeks gain in some form. Status, influence, validation, power. Even in love, there is the desire to possess, to be needed, to be seen. The wise man does not condemn this truth, he uses it. He studies what others desire and positions himself as the one who can provide it. That is how he becomes indispensable. When you enter a room, do not wonder who likes you, observe who needs you. Because power is not built on affection, it is built on necessity. The world will respect you when it cannot function without you. It is not enough to be good, you must be valuable. The man who tries to live by pure goodness will be drained by those who understand exchange. In the court of life, generosity without calculation is suicide. You must become aware of the trade hidden in every smile, every promise, every handshake. When someone flatters you, listen not to the praise, but to the intention behind it. When someone asks for help, weigh what they have offered before. The world will take as much as you allow it to. Machiavelli believed that the ruler who survives is not the one who trusts blindly, but the one who measures every connection through advantage. It is not about being heartless, it is about being awake. The man who knows the game cannot be used, because he knows every player's move before they make it. There is a dangerous illusion that ruins more men than failure ever could. the illusion that being good is enough. Society teaches you to be kind, to forgive easily, to help without hesitation. It glorifies selflessness, as if the more you give away, the more you will be respected. But Machiavelli understood the dark truth beneath that illusion. He saw that when kindness lacks strategy, it stops being a virtue and becomes a weapon used against you. When you give without thought, you teach others how to take from you. You become predictable, pliable, safe to use. People learn that your compassion has no cost, your loyalty has no limit, and your patience has no edge. And once they learn that, they stop seeing you as a person. They start seeing you as a resource. You become the well everyone drinks from, but no one fills. And when the well runs dry, they simply move to another. Machiavelli warned rulers never to give what they could not afford to lose. The same law applies to every human interaction. When your kindness has no boundaries, people stop respecting it. They stop valuing your effort because it always comes without demand. True respect is born not from endless giving, but from selective giving, when your generosity is rare, deliberate, and tied to purpose. He wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." Many misinterpret this as a call to cruelty, but it is not. What Machiavelli meant was that love built on dependency will fade, but respect built on strength will endure. If you are only loved because you are useful, your fall is certain the moment you stop serving. But if you are respected, people will think twice before crossing you. Fear, in Machiavelli's philosophy, does not mean terror. It means consequence. To be kind in a world of predators, you must attach consequence to your kindness. Let people know that your time, your help, your energy are not free. They are privileges earned through loyalty, reciprocity, and merit. The man who gives freely to everyone loses his value to everyone. But the man who gives with calculation increases his worth with every act. Consider how nature operates. Even the sun does not shine everywhere at once. It rises and sets with rhythm and reason. Your kindness must follow the same law. Give light where it nourishes growth, not where it burns waste. If you continue to shine on those who only take, you are not compassionate, you are careless. Machiavelli would remind you that a ruler who shows mercy to all will invite rebellion, for mercy without discipline signals weakness, and weakness, in any form, attracts predators. People respect limits. They respect the man who says no with confidence more than the man who says yes out of guilt. If your kindness makes you easy to manipulate, then it is not kindness, it is surrender. Every time you say yes when your mind screams no, every time you sacrifice peace to please others, you teach them how to control you. And soon, you begin to resent the very people you tried to help. This resentment corrodes your strength, leaving you hollow, tired, and quietly angry at yourself. The wise understand that kindness is power only when it is earned. It must be wielded like a sword, sharp, measured, and used only when necessary. Give help that builds alliances, not dependencies. Offer loyalty that is returned, not drained. A king does not bow to his subjects to prove his goodness. He governs with balance, giving when it strengthens his throne, and withholding when it protects his rule. Machiavelli believed that compassion without control is the seed of downfall. When your heart overrules your strategy, you become the architect of your own exploitation. The world does not respect endless giving. It respects discernment, strength, and the ability to say, my kindness has a purpose, and my purpose has a limit. Machiavelli lived in a world of manipulation, betrayal, and power disguised as friendship. He watched men rise not because they were honest, but because they understood the art of deception. He knew that words are rarely the truth. They are instruments used to shape perception, to influence behavior, to disguise intention. That is why he warned rulers never to trust what is said, but to study what is meant. And this principle is as true today as it was in his time. You see, most people are fooled not by lies, but by comfort. They want to believe what feels good, what sounds reassuring, what flatters their ego. But the one who survives, the one who wins, learns to see the world as it is, not as it pretends to be. Words are surface. Motives are the depths beneath. And those depths decide whether someone is an ally or an opportunist. When someone praises you, listen closely. Praise is rarely given without purpose. It might be to soften your guard, to win your trust, or to place themselves in your favor. When someone agrees with everything you say, question their honesty. No man truly agrees with another on all matters, unless he has something to gain from his agreement. The wise do not take comfort in agreement. They look for intention behind it. Machiavelli observed that people speak with virtue but act with self-interest. A man will talk of loyalty while planning his escape, speak of humility while chasing influence, promise support while building his own advantage. This is not hypocrisy, it is human nature. Understanding this truth does not make you paranoid. It makes you perceptive. Because once you begin to see motive instead of words, you stop being deceived by appearances. The world runs on silent agendas. Every conversation hides one. When someone seeks your company, ask yourself, what are they gaining by being near you? When someone asks for help, ask, why you and why now? Machiavelli believed that every action is driven by a desire for power, security, or validation. Learn to identify which one rules the person in front of you. Once you know what drives them, you can predict them. And once you can predict, you can control. He advised rulers to observe not what men say in peace, but how they act in crisis. Because when fear and pressure enter the room, masks fall, words disappear, and only motives remain. Watch how people move when their comfort is threatened. There you will see their truth. Some will reveal loyalty, others will expose betrayal. Machiavelli believed that a wise leader watches behavior as a mathematician studies numbers, patiently, precisely, without emotion. Flattery is one of the oldest weapons of control. It feeds the ego and blinds reason. Those who cannot resist it are easily led. That is why powerful men often fall to those who simply understand how to make them feel admired. Never let admiration cloud judgment. The moment you crave validation, you hand over your ability to read intention. To see motive clearly, your mind must be detached, not desperate for approval. Machiavelli himself learned this lesson in exile, betrayed by those he once served. He came to understand that loyalty spoken aloud means nothing. It must be proven through sacrifice and consistency. Those who swear allegiance in comfort will vanish in danger. He realized that true wisdom lies in quiet observation, listening not to what people declare, but to what they conceal. When someone tells you they want the best for you, measure it by their actions. If their actions lead you to weakness, their words were deception. The wise man is not cynical, he is awake. He walks among flatterers, schemers, and liars without anger because he knows that deceit is part of human nature. His advantage is awareness. He reads the game while others are still playing it. Machiavelli understood one of the most uncomfortable truths of human nature. People respect what they cannot easily have. Every act of giving, every display of loyalty, every ounce of your effort must carry weight, or it will be taken for granted. In a world built on exchange, the moment you give without leverage, you surrender your power. The world rewards those who understand balance. those who know when to hold and when to release. It punishes those who mistake generosity for strategy. Machiavelli wrote that a wise ruler gives favors, but always in a way that creates obligation. He must make others feel indebted, not equal, because the one who gives without creating dependency becomes irrelevant once his usefulness fades. When you help someone, do not aim to be liked, aim to be needed. The man who is liked will be forgotten, but the man who is needed will be protected. This is not cruelty, it is design. It is how you make your actions carry value instead of becoming a habit others exploit. You must learn to treat your attention, your time, your help as currency. When people know your resources are scarce and deliberate, they will value them. But if you hand them out freely, they will consume them without gratitude. Think of power as an economy. Everything you give should yield something in return, whether it's respect, information, or influence. Machiavelli's rulers built empires not by refusing to give, but by giving with purpose. Every favor had a string attached, every alliance a condition. In daily life, this principle is no different. The friend who constantly asks for help, the colleague who always leans on your reliability, the family member who expects you to solve their chaos, all of them test your leverage. When you say yes without measure, you feed their comfort while starving your own control. You teach them that your effort is free, your boundaries are flexible, and your loyalty is permanent. Once that pattern is set, it will not be respected, it will be exploited. Machiavelli believed that to rule effectively, a prince must appear generous but remain calculating. Generosity, when strategic, builds reputation, when emotional, builds weakness. Give in ways that strengthen your position. Give in public to win influence, but never in private to please emotion. Every favor must circle back to your advantage. The goal is not selfishness, it is survival. Even alliances built on trust must have structure. Without it, trust turns into dependency, and dependency turns into loss of control. Understand that leverage is not manipulation, it is self-respect in action. It means you never enter a transaction empty-handed. Even kindness can be leverage if offered wisely. When you assist someone, ensure they understand the value of what they receive, not through arrogance, but through precision. Let your actions remind them that your effort is a privilege, not an entitlement. This creates psychological weight, a sense of debt that quietly anchors influence in your favor. The moment you give something of value without clarity or purpose, you hand control to the other person. They become the chooser, and you become the resource. Machiavelli taught that rulers who depend on the goodwill of others are ruled by those very people. The same applies to every interaction you have. Power lies not in constant giving, but in controlled offering. You must calculate what you trade and why you trade it. Each gesture should position you closer to independence, not further into obligation. Those who understand this principle never beg for appreciation, because their giving commands it naturally. They know that leverage is the invisible armor of the powerful. It allows them to stay generous without becoming vulnerable. When you help, ensure your act makes the other person aware of your strength, not your need for approval. Because in the end, the world will always take from the one who gives too easily, and reward the one who gives with intention. Machiavelli knew that emotion is the easiest chain to place around a person's neck. He watched rulers fall not because they lacked intelligence or strength, but because they let their hearts guide their decisions. The moment emotion takes command, judgment becomes clouded, and power begins to slip away. To survive in a world driven by manipulation and self-interest, you must master the art of detachment. Not coldness, not cruelty, but controlled emotion. Because a man who cannot control his feelings will always be controlled by someone who can. When you become too emotionally involved, you lose your ability to see clearly. Anger makes you reckless, love makes you blind, fear makes you hesitate, and guilt makes you surrender your advantage. Machiavelli understood that emotion is a tool for others to use against you. The moment they learn what provokes you, what melts you, what frightens you, they will use it to shape your behavior. That is why he taught that a leader must appear compassionate, but remain governed by reason. His emotions must serve his purpose, not sabotage it. Emotional detachment does not mean you feel nothing. It means you feel everything, but allow nothing to enslave you. When someone insults you, you observe. When someone flatters you, you analyze. When someone betrays you, you learn. The detached man does not react. He calculates. He knows that every outburst, every emotional slip, gives the world a glimpse of his weakness. And once the world sees that weakness, it will test it again and again. The man who cannot control himself cannot control anything around him. Machiavelli once said that men are driven by love and fear. To rule effectively, you must balance both, not just in others, but within yourself. Love must never blind your reason, and fear must never dictate your choices. When your emotions become your master, your enemies don't need to defeat you. You defeat yourself. That is why the great strategist remains calm in chaos. His silence is not emptiness, it is calculation. His patience is not passivity, it is power waiting for the perfect moment. Emotional detachment is also the art of seeing people for what they are, not what you wish them to be. Most suffering comes from expectation, from believing others will act as you would. Machiavelli understood that human nature is selfish and inconsistent. People love when it benefits them, betray when it's convenient, and return when they need something. The detached mind accepts this without bitterness. It does not seek purity in people, it seeks understanding. It studies their desires, their fears, their patterns, and uses that knowledge to move strategically. Those who master detachment hold a strange kind of peace. They are calm while others panic. They make decisions while others drown in confusion. They can walk away from manipulation because they see it forming before it begins. They can remain polite to enemies because they know emotion gives the enemy strength. Machiavelli would say that the ruler who controls his heart holds an empire within himself. Because when your emotions obey you, your actions become unstoppable. The reason most people remain powerless is because they let others dictate how they feel. A single word, a look, a silence can disturb their peace. They become easy to steer because their emotions are visible, predictable, and reactive. But when you build distance, when you learn to breathe, observe, and think before feeling, you take that control back. You become the one who decides when to care, when to act, when to reveal, and when to remain silent. That control is the foundation of dominance. Machiavelli lived this truth, exiled, betrayed, stripped of status. He did not crumble. He observed, learned, and wrote The Prince, one of the most powerful works in history. He transformed pain into wisdom, rejection into strategy. That is emotional detachment at its highest form. Not indifference, but the ability to turn suffering into strength. To hold power, you must master your inner world first, because the man who cannot control his emotions is a servant, no matter how high his throne stands. Machiavelli understood something most people still refuse to accept. The world is not meant to serve you, it is meant to test you. It will deceive, tempt, and provoke you until you either learn how to use it or become one of its casualties. But using the world does not mean becoming wicked. It means becoming wise. It means learning to navigate corruption without drowning in it, to manipulate without losing morality, and to control your surroundings without letting them control your soul. The goal is not to destroy virtue, but to make virtue effective. Many people believe that being moral and being powerful cannot coexist. They think that to win, you must abandon your principles. But Machiavelli saw a deeper truth. Principles without power are meaningless. A man who clings to virtue while others use deceit will soon be crushed by the very system he refuses to understand. The world runs on influence, not innocence. Those who learn how it works can remain moral and effective. Those who refuse to learn become moral victims, good-hearted but powerless. To use the world wisely, you must see it as it truly is, a network of desires, fears, and hidden bargains. Every person wants something: security, wealth, admiration, control, and every system rewards those who know how to satisfy those wants. The wise man does not fight this truth. He bends it to his advantage. He studies what moves people, what motivates them, and what manipulates them. Then, he uses that understanding to position himself in power, not through force, but through perception. Machiavelli believed that the appearance of virtue is often more effective than virtue itself. The man who seems moral gains trust, while the one who truly is moral but naive gains nothing but betrayal. The art is balance. If you become too calculating, the world will see you as heartless. If you remain too pure, it will see you as prey. True mastery lies in merging both, the cunning of the fox with the strength of the lion. Machiavelli used these animals as symbols for leadership because they represent the duality every successful person must embody: deception when needed and dominance when required. To use the world means to adjust, to adapt, to remain fluid yet firm. You must know when to smile and when to strike, when to appear loyal and when to detach. But there is a danger that comes with power, the temptation to become the very corruption you once escaped. That is where self-awareness becomes your armor. The wise do not lose themselves in control. They use control to protect their essence. They do not seek domination for vanity, but for stability. Machiavelli would say that power is not evil. It simply reveals the truth about who you are. When a man rises, the mask falls. If you have no discipline, power will expose your chaos. If you have integrity, power will magnify your clarity. Using the world means shaping it to your purpose while never forgetting your center. It means you can walk through deception without becoming a deceiver, use strategy without becoming soulless, and play the game without letting it consume your identity. The greatest leaders understood this. They mastered politics without losing humanity, controlled systems without surrendering morality. They knew that power without purpose leads to tyranny, and purpose without power leads to ruin. Machiavelli wanted his readers to understand that wisdom is not about rejection of the world, but about domination of it. To reject the game is to stay a pawn forever. To master it is to rise above those still trapped in illusion. You must learn how to shape perception, how to speak in ways that influence, how to act in ways that command respect, and how to maintain composure when chaos surrounds you. This is not corruption, it is survival with intelligence. The man who uses the world wisely understands that power is not the goal, it is the tool. And only those who master the tool can carve destiny into their own design. Conclusion. The world will always test your strength, your kindness, and your awareness. It will flatter you when it wants something and abandon you when you no longer serve a purpose. That is not cruelty, it is nature. Machiavelli taught us that the wise do not curse the world for what it is. They learn its language and use it to build their own throne. To stop being used, you must stop living unconsciously. Every exchange has a cost, every connection an intention, every act a consequence. The man who understands this moves differently. He gives when it strengthens him, speaks when it serves him, and remains silent when it protects him. He does not waste kindness where it will be forgotten, nor loyalty where it will be betrayed. Power, as Machiavelli saw it, is not about domination, it is about awareness. It is the ability to see reality without emotion, to act with precision, and to hold your dignity while the world loses theirs. Once you master that, the world can no longer use you. You will begin to use it, not through cruelty, but through clarity. Because in truth, the world doesn't reward the good. It rewards the aware, and those who see through its illusions, those who dare to use the game rather than be played by it, will always rise above those who live as its victims. Narrator, calmly, with final gravitas, as Machiavelli would remind you, fortune favors not the innocent, but the intelligent. Learn the game, use the world, and never let it use you again.